Now the next thing that I'm going to do is put that music track underneath this so that it will go along with the introduction. Beginning here, it will only run until the end of this segment right here. So then I'll cut it. Let's go back to the beginning. Go back to our playlist. And the music we will use is Angeline the Baker. This goes on a separate line right here. Now that becomes an audio line. Uh-oh. Not responding. It's going to break on me. Well, this is one of the hazards of working with Shotcut. All right, it seems to have recovered on its own. I just let it be. Sometimes it will do that. Sometimes it'll totally crash, and other times it will kind of recover itself if you don't ask too much of it. But right now, I am going to save this file. I should have saved it earlier. I didn't take my own advice, did I? All right, now we can get back to it. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to add an audio track. And that's right there. Now I can bring Angeline the Baker right down there, put it on that track, move it over to where it goes right to the start pegs right there, which, by the way, this little tool here called toggle snapping, I virtually leave it always selected because that's how, when I bring one little clip up against another, they kind of slap together so that I know that they're joined, there's no gaps in between. If you do it manually, you always stand a chance of getting a moment of black, or it overlaps and you don't realize it, etc., etc. Now, I'm going to restore the audio on this track, and I also have the audio on this track. Let's see how this sounds. A little loud, but I'll take care of that in a minute. Now the music will stop right about there. So I will back up just a hair, highlight the soundtrack down here so it's outlined in red, and then I will do split at playhead. Now this piece here, I'm going to move out of the way. It's actually going to go down to the other end of this file, but for right now, I'll leave it there. Now, this little segment here will play as the video opens. But it's too loud. So I'm going to lower the volume on that by using a filter. I'll use the gain and volume tool, and what I'll do is I'm going to lower this by about 12 decibels. I'll put my cursor right there, backspace, and enter 1, 2. Oh, wait a minute. A minus in front of it, David. Yes, a minus in front of it, minus 12 decibels. Now, when I go back and play that, it won't be as loud. That's about right. Now, the other thing I want to do, I want it to fade out at the end. That's an easy thing to do in Shotcut. When you have that selected, just move the hand over into the corner. You see that little black flashing, and then it turns into a pointy finger. Press your left mouse key and drag that across. And that will create a fade out for you. I'm going to set this for about, roughly a quarter of a second. Now what we'll hear is this. So that it fades out as the speaking begins. Piece of cake. Now I could do the same thing down here. I could fade it in, but I really don't see any point because I like the way this just starts up and then strum, period. But here on this end, I want it to fade out. There we go. I'm going to finish this up. I will fix this music and I'll put the other music on the other end in a way so that it will fade out right there on this sound file. And if I play that, See how it fades out? That's what I want at the end of the video. Next time around, we'll go into more detail on the filters, and there's a lot to cover on the filters. That'll be a lesson all by itself. But for right now, I think we're done. You have a good night. You might notice how late it is here. It's 2:49 a.m. I do my best work in the middle of the night. So until next time, this is David Howell. Thank you for visiting the Armchair Educator. Please subscribe. Please leave comments or suggestions, whatever you'd like to say. Bye for now.